In life, we all face moments that shake us deeply, times when everything seems to be falling apart. The weight of these struggles can feel overwhelming, leaving us questioning our strength, our purpose, and whether we have what it takes to carry on. Yet within each of us lies an untapped source of resilience, waiting for the right moment to awaken. This inner strength isn't exclusive to a select few, it's inherent in everyone, waiting to be drawn upon when life's challenges seem insurmountable. It's natural to feel overwhelmed when adversity strikes. Most of us have experienced failure, loss, or disappointment at some point, and these moments test our resolve. They make us question if we have the power to overcome. But here's the truth. The ability to endure hardship is already inside you. Strength isn't about being born with unshakable resilience. It's about learning to cultivate it, to build it within yourself, so that no matter how difficult life gets, you can rise above. There's a philosophy that has guided some of the greatest minds in history through unimaginable trials. This philosophy teaches us to focus not on the events themselves, but on how we respond to them. While we cannot control everything that happens around us, we always have control over our thoughts, actions, and reactions. This mindset has helped warriors, leaders, and thinkers stay calm and composed amidst chaos, and it can do the same for you. Think about a time when life felt especially unfair or overwhelming. Maybe you faced a challenge so big you thought you'd never recover. In those moments, it can feel as though the ground beneath you is crumbling. But here you are, still standing. You may have scars, but you survived. That's proof of your inner strength. It's easy to forget how resilient we are when we're caught in the storm, but the fact that you've overcome struggles in the past shows that strength is already in you. Strength isn't about brute force. It's about endurance and the quiet determination to keep going, even when everything around you tells you to give up. Life is unpredictable. There will be good days and bad days, victories and defeats. But real strength is found not in avoiding the tough times, but in facing them with grace, knowing they will eventually pass. It's about standing tall when life tries to knock you down, trusting that you can rise again no matter how hard the blow. True peace comes from accepting that life will never be without setbacks. Disappointment is part of the journey. Once you come to terms with this reality, a shift occurs. You stop fearing the future, because you know that no matter what comes your way, you have the tools to handle it. You stop trying to control everything around you and focus instead on what you can control: your mindset, your attitude, and your actions. Everyone faces adversity in one form or another, and no one is immune to life's challenges. The difference between those who are broken by hardship and those who thrive in the face of it is mindset. Those who thrive see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. Each setback becomes a stepping stone toward greater resilience. Think about the strongest people you know. They didn't get that way by avoiding life's difficulties. Their strength was forged through struggles, failures, and losses. What sets them apart is that they learned how to use hardship to fuel their growth. You have the same potential. In a world where so much is beyond our control, the one thing we can always count on is our ability to persevere. It doesn't mean the journey will be easy or free of pain, but it does mean that you have the power to face whatever comes your way. Strength isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. There will always be challenges that feel insurmountable, moments when the weight of the world feels unbearable. But remember this: you are not defined by the challenges you face, but by how you choose to face them. Each time life knocks you down, you have the choice to stand back up. And with each rise, you become stronger, more resilient, and more unshakable. It's easy to look at others who seem to handle life's challenges effortlessly and wonder how they do it. But the truth is, resilience is not a trait you're born with. It's something you build. Every time you keep going, every time you face a challenge with courage, you are strengthening yourself. It may not feel like it in the moment, but every hardship is an opportunity for growth. There is a quiet power in knowing that nothing can break you. Life may throw obstacles your way, but with the right mindset, you can weather any storm. Strength isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about facing them head-on, knowing that you have the ability to endure. Adversity is the force that prevents you from being swept away by your emotions or external circumstances. Think about how often we're tempted to take the easy road when things get tough. It's far easier to surrender to fear, frustration, or anger than to stay calm and focused. But every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're strengthening your resilience. You're training yourself to stay composed, to think clearly, and to act with purpose. This practice of discipline isn't reserved for major challenges. It's something you can cultivate every day in the small moments. Whether it's sticking to a routine, managing your emotions, or resisting the urge to react impulsively, every act of discipline builds inner strength, the cornerstone of resilience. A key part of building that strength is learning to embrace discomfort. Stoicism teaches us that life is filled with discomfort, whether it's physical pain, emotional distress, or the uncertainty of the future. Rather than avoiding these experiences, Stoics encourage us to lean into them, understanding that discomfort is often the gateway to growth. When you learn to sit with discomfort instead of running from it, you realize that it's not as unbearable as it seems. In fact, it's in those moments of discomfort that you discover your true strength. The more you face discomfort head-on, the less intimidating it becomes. And over time, you develop a mental toughness that allows you to navigate any storm without being overwhelmed. This doesn't mean denying your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It means recognizing that discomfort is a natural part of the process of becoming stronger and more resilient. Becoming resilient also requires self-awareness. You can't build strength without first understanding yourself, your triggers, your fears, and your weaknesses. Stoicism encourages self-reflection as a tool for growth. By reflecting on your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you gain insight into the patterns that hold you back. This awareness gives you the power to change, to recognize when you're reacting automatically instead of responding intentionally. The Stoics believed that self-reflection is crucial for living a virtuous life, one where you're in control of yourself, not at the mercy of the world around you. Building resilience isn't just about enduring life's challenges. It's about cultivating the mindset that allows you to thrive despite them. It's about finding peace amidst chaos, not by avoiding it, but by facing it with the confidence that you have the strength to endure. You aren't defined by the difficulties you face, but by how you choose to respond to them. Every challenge is an opportunity to build resilience, to strengthen your mind, and to become unbreakable in the process. As you continue practicing these Stoic principles, you'll find that life's ups and downs no longer sway you as they once did. You'll face challenges with calm confidence, knowing that whatever comes your way, you have the inner strength to handle it. Stoicism teaches you that nothing external can truly harm you, because your strength comes from within. The journey toward building unshakable resilience is not easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. It requires daily practice, reflection, and a commitment to growth. And as you develop this inner strength, you'll find that life's challenges no longer seem so daunting. You'll face them with a steady mind and an open heart, understanding that each obstacle is another opportunity to build the fortitude that makes you truly unbreakable. When life tests you, take a deep breath and remember that you have the tools, the strength, and the resilience to face it. As you continue down this path, you'll discover that nothing, no adversity, no hardship, no failure, has the power to break you. The strength you've cultivated isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about mastering yourself in every situation life throws at you. Resilience is part of the journey. Emotional control is the next step toward unshakable strength. When life pressures you, when the world feels chaotic, staying calm is an art few have mastered. Stoicism holds the keys to this mastery, teaching us how to stay composed when everything around us calls for an emotional reaction. Emotions are powerful forces, capable of shaping our reality in an instant. It's not the emotions themselves that are the issue. It's our unchecked reactions to them. Stoicism doesn't advocate ignoring or suppressing emotions. Instead, It offers a way to understand and manage them, allowing you to maintain clarity and purpose, even under pressure. Emotional control starts with self-awareness. You cannot master what you don't recognize. When you start paying attention to your emotions as they arise, you gain the power to control them. Often, we react automatically without pausing to understand what we're feeling or why. The Stoics believe that our emotions stem from our judgments. It's not the events themselves that cause us distress, but the way we interpret them. Two people could face the same situation, say, losing a job, but one may spiral into despair, while the other sees it as an opportunity for growth. The difference lies in their interpretation. Stoicism teaches that by reframing our judgments, we can change our emotional responses. This doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means choosing to see challenges as neutral events and deciding how to respond with wisdom and calm. For instance, anger often arises when we feel wronged or disrespected. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to lash out. But the Stoics remind us that anger is a choice, a reaction based on how we interpret events. If we pause and ask ourselves whether anger serves any productive purpose, we begin to loosen its grip. We start to see that the situation, however frustrating, doesn't have to control our emotions. Maintaining emotional control is essential for staying calm under pressure. The Stoics often spoke of maintaining an inner stillness, even when the world around you is chaotic. It's not about shutting yourself off from feelings, but about cultivating a calm center that remains unaffected by external events. Picture a ship at sea. The waves may crash, the winds may howl, but as long as the ship's anchor is strong, it stays steady. Your mind is that ship, and Stoic wisdom provides the anchor. A powerful technique for mastering emotional control is focusing on the present moment. Anxiety, frustration, and fear often come from worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in the now, understanding that the present is the only moment you have control over. When you focus on the present, you strip away the emotional noise created by overthinking or anticipating what might go wrong. Another key element of emotional control is accepting what you cannot change. Resistance to reality is one of the greatest sources of emotional distress. We often get caught up in wishing things were different, wishing people would act a certain way, or wishing we could avoid pain and loss. But Stoicism teaches that peace comes not from avoiding challenges, but from accepting them as they are. This doesn't mean resigning yourself passively to circumstances. It means stopping the emotional waste on what can't be controlled, so you can focus on what you can do now. Detachment is another cornerstone of Stoic emotional control. It's not about becoming indifferent, but about recognizing that your peace doesn't depend on external circumstances. When you stop tying your emotions to things outside your control, you experience a deeper sense of freedom and calm. This detachment doesn't mean isolation or lack of care. It means that while you care deeply for others, your happiness isn't contingent on their actions or approval. Patience is also crucial in emotional control. In moments of stress, we often feel that everything needs to be resolved immediately. Stoicism teaches the value of patience, the ability to step back and let time provide clarity. Acting impulsively in emotional moments often leads to regret, but practicing patience gives you the space to think clearly and act wisely. Cultivating emotional control requires resilience in the face of discomfort. Emotions like fear, anger, and sadness are uncomfortable, and our instinct is to avoid or suppress them. But Stoicism encourages us to sit with these emotions, observe them without judgment, and understand their root causes. By confronting your emotions rather than running from them, you develop a deeper sense of control. Ultimately, emotional control is deeply connected to how we view ourselves. Much of the emotional turmoil we experience comes from ego, fear of failure, rejection, or the need to prove ourselves. Stoicism teaches us to let go of ego, understanding that true strength comes not from external validation, but from inner peace and self-mastery. Through daily practice and reflection, you can cultivate Stoic emotional control. It's not about being perfect, but about mastering the art of responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Over time, you'll find that situations that once triggered intense emotional responses no longer have the same power over you. You'll face challenges with a calm mind and steady heart, knowing you have the strength to remain in control. The Stoic principle, no matter what life throws your way, is powerful because it radically shifts how we view challenges. Instead of seeing problems as roadblocks, we can learn to see them as opportunities for growth. When we view adversity through this lens, it reduces the emotional weight of the difficulty and helps us find meaning in the struggle. Think back to a time when things didn't go as planned. Maybe you missed an opportunity or faced a failure that seemed crushing. Initially, it may have felt like everything was working against you, but with time and reflection, you might have realized that this setback led to new opportunities or valuable lessons. This is the power of perspective. The event didn't change, but your understanding of it did. A key aspect of Stoicism is reframing challenges by focusing on what is within our control. When difficulties arise, the Stoics suggest asking, "What part of this situation can I control?" By directing your energy toward what you can influence, you regain a sense of agency and clarity, reducing feelings of helplessness. This approach helps you stay calm and focused on actionable steps, rather than wasting time on things beyond your control. This shift is especially powerful when dealing with external judgments. For instance, when facing criticism, the immediate reaction might be defensiveness or frustration. But if you pause and focus on what you can control, you'll realize that you can't change other people's opinions. However, you can control how you respond to them. Instead of letting criticism undermine your confidence, you can reframe it as constructive feedback that offers an opportunity to learn and grow. Another important Stoic idea is accepting the impermanence of life. Everything is constantly changing, from the seasons to our personal circumstances. By acknowledging this, we become less attached to outcomes and more flexible in adapting to life's ebb and flow. Understanding that nothing, including pain or obstacles, lasts forever, can lighten the emotional burden of setbacks. Gratitude also plays a critical role in reframing challenges. Even in the midst of difficulty, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what remains rather than what is lost. This doesn't mean ignoring the hardship, but rather balancing it by recognizing the good that still exists in our lives. For example, in times of loss, whether the end of a relationship, job, or the death of a loved one, it's natural to grieve. But within that grief, there can also be room for gratitude for the time shared, the lessons learned, and the experiences had. By shifting our perspective in this way, we create space for both sorrow and appreciation, which can bring peace even in tough times. Stoicism also encourages us to view challenges through the lens of service. When facing adversity, it's empowering to ask how the situation can serve others. Shifting the focus from our own struggles to the greater community can help put personal challenges into perspective. By seeing how overcoming your own difficulties can benefit others, you not only manage your own emotions, but also find greater meaning in the struggle. A significant part of reframing challenges comes from how we speak to ourselves. The Stoics understood that much of our suffering comes from our internal dialogue. If your inner voice is filled with negativity, self-doubt, and fear, it reinforces the idea that a challenge is insurmountable. But by consciously changing this dialogue to focus on growth, learning, and adaptation, you can transform your experience of difficulty. This mental shift requires intentional practice, but over time you'll begin to notice how your perspective changes. What once seemed overwhelming may become more manageable, and what once triggered fear may spark curiosity and resilience. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus often spoke of playing your role in life. By accepting your role and the challenges that come with it, you stop viewing obstacles as personal attacks. Instead, you see them as part of a larger journey meant for your growth. This reframing gives your struggles meaning, which can shift how you approach them. Challenges no longer feel like random misfortunes, but part of your unique path. When adversity stretches on over time, it's easy to feel discouraged, but Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus from the end goal to the small daily actions that move us forward. By breaking down a large challenge into manageable steps, you regain a sense of progress and purpose. This shift helps prevent burnout and keeps you motivated, even when the journey feels long. Humility is another essential part of reframing challenges. The Stoics believed that much of our emotional suffering stems from the ego, the desire to control everything, to be right, or to always succeed. The Stoics also emphasize that we don't have to face challenges alone. We are all connected, and part of reframing difficulties is seeking support and wisdom from others. Whether through conversation, reading, or reflecting, the experiences of others can broaden our understanding and provide valuable perspective. When you realize that your challenges are not unique, you gain comfort and strength from the shared human experience. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches that no challenge is insurmountable. It's not the situation that defines you, but how you choose to perceive it. The ability to reframe difficulties through the power of perspective allows you to turn even the darkest moments into sources of growth, wisdom, and inner peace. This mindset not only helps you survive adversity, but thrive through it, transforming each obstacle into a stepping stone toward resilience. Living according to Stoic principles involves grounding yourself in virtue, acting with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Virtue becomes your unshakable foundation, not because life is free of hardship, but because you become more centered in who you are and what you stand for. With this internal compass, external challenges have less power over you, because you are no longer defined by outcomes, but by how you conduct yourself. Stoic wisdom teaches that true strength comes from living in alignment with these virtues, rather than seeking worldly success. You only have control over your character, how you choose to respond to the world. External events may be unpredictable, but your commitment to virtue remains constant. When you focus on living with integrity, you stop being shaken by life's ups and downs. Instead, you act from a place of inner clarity, guided by timeless principles. Courage, one of the core Stoic virtues, isn't about being fearless or reckless, but about acting in alignment with your values even in the face of hardship. It's about standing firm in your beliefs and doing what's right, especially when easier paths are available. This kind of courage strengthens your character and makes you unbreakable, because it's rooted in the confidence that acting with integrity is its own reward. Justice, another vital virtue, involves how we treat others. Stoicism teaches that we are all interconnected, and living virtuously means showing fairness, respect, and compassion in our relationships. By treating others justly, regardless of how they treat you, you cultivate peace and balance in your own life, and your sense of self becomes rooted in your principles, not in the opinions of others. Temperance, or moderation, encourages self-control and balance in all areas of life. It teaches us to avoid excess, whether in our desires, habits, or emotions. By exercising discipline, we maintain stability and inner strength, no longer chasing fleeting pleasures, but staying focused on what truly matters. Living a Stoic life doesn't mean striving for perfection. The Stoics recognized that we are all fallible, and that mistakes are part of the journey. What makes us unbreakable is our willingness to learn from those mistakes and continue pursuing a life of virtue. Each failure becomes a lesson, each setback an opportunity for growth. Stoicism also stresses responsibility, acknowledging that we are responsible for our actions, regardless of circumstances. This focus on personal responsibility is both empowering and challenging. It reminds us that no one can dictate our behavior, and we always have the choice to act with integrity. By embracing this responsibility, we stop making excuses and take control of our lives. Finally, living a life of virtue leads to a deep sense of peace and freedom. When your actions align with your values, you no longer seek validation from others or chase after superficial successes. You find fulfillment in the pursuit of excellence, and this inner peace becomes a shield against external chaos. You are no longer defined by the things you cannot control, and this freedom makes you unbreakable. Stoicism teaches that life's inevitable highs and lows should be embraced with virtue. The Stoics understood that we cannot control everything in life. Fate, death, and the passage of time are beyond our influence. Instead of fearing these truths, they taught us to accept them as part of the natural order. By accepting life's limitations, we free ourselves from the constant need to control everything. This shift allows us to focus on what is within our control, our actions, character, and responses, and let go of the rest. This inner freedom builds a peace that is unaffected by external events. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of humility. No matter how wise or strong you become, there is always more to learn. Humility keeps you open to growth and reminds you that pursuing virtue is a lifelong journey. By embracing humility, you become flexible and adaptable, able to face challenges without becoming rigid or defensive. When you focus on virtue, challenges cease to be obstacles. Instead, they become opportunities to practice wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Each challenge is a chance to strengthen your character, and through consistent practice, you build an internal strength that can withstand anything life throws at you. This internal strength also deepens your relationships. People are drawn to those who live by their principles because it inspires trust and respect, creating bonds grounded in integrity. Living a life of virtue connects you to something timeless: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, principles that have sustained people throughout history. By committing to virtue, you join a tradition of resilience and moral excellence, grounding yourself in something more enduring than temporary success. This transforms you from the inside out, providing the strength to face adversity, the wisdom to make sound decisions, the courage to act with integrity, and the peace that comes from living a life of purpose. To maintain this strength, Stoicism also teaches the practice of detachment. Detachment isn't about withdrawing from the world or caring less, but about freeing yourself from things beyond your control. Those things that can distract or pull you away from your true path. It helps you navigate life with clarity and purpose, unaffected by the distractions and pressures of external circumstances. In a world filled with distractions, practicing detachment is like finding calm in the midst of a storm. Modern life often pulls our attention in many directions. Societal pressures, material desires, and the opinions of others can easily cloud our judgment. The Stoics recognize that detaching from these external forces gives you back your power and peace of mind. By focusing only on what you can control, your actions, thoughts, and responses, you free yourself from anxiety and the fear of failure or disappointment. Detachment also shields you from the need for external validation. The Stoics believe true freedom comes when you detach from the need to be liked or respected by others. You can value others' opinions without letting them define your sense of self-worth. This internal confidence allows you to act according to your principles, regardless of others' judgments. This idea extends to material things. The Stoics saw wealth, possessions, and status as preferred indifference, neither inherently good nor bad, but often pursued at the expense of more important virtues. True contentment doesn't come from external possessions, but from within. Detaching from material desires means no longer chasing after things that are outside your control. You can enjoy what you have, but not depend on it for your sense of well-being. In relationships, detachment allows for healthier connections. While it's natural to care deeply for loved ones, the Stoics taught us to detach from the need to control others or make them meet our expectations. Accepting people as they are, without trying to change them, leads to more authentic and respectful relationships. Detachment also applies to time. The Stoics believed in letting go of attachment to both the past and the future. Regret over past actions and anxiety about the future weaken our resolve and cause unnecessary suffering. The present moment is all we truly have, and by detaching from both past regrets and future worries, we free ourselves to fully engage with life as it unfolds. This doesn't mean ignoring the lessons of the past or failing to plan for the future, but it means recognizing what is within your control, your actions and choices in the present moment. Finally, detachment helps you handle loss with greater resilience. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a job, or a dream, Attachment to impermanent things only leads to more suffering when they're gone. By practicing detachment, you prepare yourself to face loss with grace, knowing that nothing in life is guaranteed. This acceptance of loss makes you stronger, as you're no longer bound by attachment to things that can be taken away. Detachment also frees you from rigid ideas about your identity. We often tie our sense of self to roles, achievements, or social status, but Stoicism teaches that your true self is defined by your character, values, and daily actions. Detaching from these external identities makes you more flexible and open to growth, allowing you to evolve and adapt as life changes. By practicing detachment, you build a strong foundation that no external force can shake. Life will always present challenges, but by letting go of the need for control, validation, and attachment to specific outcomes, you create a sense of stability and clarity. This allows you to move through life with a steady resolve, knowing that your strength comes from within. However, Stoicism is most powerful when adversity strikes. Life inevitably brings hardship, but the Stoic approach teaches you to face these challenges head-on, not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. By embracing adversity, you discover resilience you never knew you had. The key to transforming hardship into strength lies in how you perceive it. Stoicism teaches that external events are neutral. It's your interpretation that shapes your experience. By seeing adversity as an opportunity to grow, you stop being a passive victim and become an active participant in your own development. Hardships sharpen your character and deepen your resolve. When you face difficulty, it's natural to wish it away or retreat into self-pity. Stoicism teaches you to shift your mindset from, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "What can I learn from this?" This reframing helps you take control of the situation and use it as a tool for personal transformation. Adversity also reveals what truly matters in life. When times are easy, it's easy to get distracted by superficial goals. But hardship strips away the noise and clarifies your priorities. Stoicism teaches that challenges can help you focus on what is essential, aligning you with your true purpose and values. In addition, hardship teaches patience. Growth takes time, and Stoicism teaches that patience isn't just about waiting, it's about enduring with grace and composure. By embracing hardship with patience, you strengthen your ability to endure any challenge with dignity and poise. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches that adversity is not something to fear, but something to embrace. By approaching difficulties with resilience and a mindset focused on growth, you become unbreakable. Not because life is easy, but because you have built the inner strength to face anything. Every small step you take in life, no matter how insignificant it may seem, brings you closer to greater strength. Patience helps you stay grounded in the present, focusing on what you can do today, instead of becoming overwhelmed by the vastness of your challenges. A patient and steady approach to adversity builds resilience, because it helps you keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Stoicism teaches that true resilience is born through persistence. When faced with hardship, it's easy to want to give up, to feel that the struggle is too great, or that the effort isn't worth it. But the Stoic mindset encourages us to push through, to persist even when obstacles seem insurmountable. Each time you choose to continue, despite how impossible things may feel, you build your inner strength. Persistence isn't about ignoring pain or pretending that suffering doesn't exist. It's about choosing to press on in the face of difficulty, knowing that each act of persistence makes you stronger and more capable of handling life's challenges. Another core Stoic idea is that adversity isn't something that happens to you. It happens for you. This doesn't mean that hardship is inherently good, but rather that it is an inevitable part of life that can serve as a tool for personal growth. By embracing challenges as part of your journey, you remove the fear of difficulty and stop seeing challenges as threats. Instead, you begin to view them as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Adversity also teaches humility. It's a reminder that we're not in control of everything, that life is unpredictable, and even the best laid plans can be undone by forces beyond our control. This realization can be humbling, but it's also necessary for growth. Stoicism teaches us to let go of the illusion of control and accept our limitations. In doing so, we approach challenges with a clearer, calmer mindset, free from frustration or anger. Moreover, adversity offers the chance to find meaning in suffering. Stoicism doesn't shy away from acknowledging the pain and unfairness of life. However, within that suffering lies the potential for growth, understanding, and compassion. The hardships you face can teach you lessons that comfort and ease never could. By embracing hardship, you open yourself to these lessons, and while you don't seek suffering, you face it with the understanding that it can serve a greater purpose. As you confront challenges, you also strengthen your sense of self. In difficult moments, you are forced to reckon with your core values, beliefs, and inner strength. Adversity strips away the superficial layers of identity, revealing who you truly are. This deepens your confidence in your ability to endure whatever comes your way, not because of external achievements, but because of the unshakable knowledge that you have the strength to grow through anything. Adversity also deepens empathy. When you experience your own struggles, you become more attuned to the struggles of others. This connection fosters compassion, patience, and a sense of shared humanity. Stoicism teaches that we are all part of a larger community, and that our personal difficulties can help us relate to others in meaningful ways. By embracing your own adversity, you become better able to support those around you in their times of hardship. Another powerful lesson that adversity teaches is gratitude. It may seem counterintuitive to feel thankful during times of hardship, but Stoicism encourages us to find moments of gratitude even in the midst of difficulty. The support of loved ones, the lessons learned, or simply surviving another day, these small things become sources of strength. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it helps you maintain balance and stay grounded during difficult times, reinforcing your ability to endure with grace. Embracing adversity also encourages flexibility. Life rarely unfolds as planned, and rigid thinking only makes challenges harder to bear. Stoicism teaches that adaptability, both in thought and action, is crucial in navigating life's obstacles. When you approach adversity with an open mind, ready to adjust and pivot when necessary, you increase your resilience. This flexibility allows you to stay calm and find new solutions even when life feels uncertain. Finally, adversity gives you a deeper sense of purpose. Every challenge you face strengthens your understanding of your own capabilities and what truly matters to you. As you overcome difficulties, you solidify your sense of direction, and with that, the motivation to keep moving forward. Each hardship reinforces your path of growth, helping you to see challenges not as barriers, but as stepping stones on the road to becoming a more resilient and meaningful version of yourself. As you embrace adversity, it no longer feels like an enemy, but a powerful teacher. Rather than breaking you down, it builds you up into a person of greater strength, wisdom, and compassion. The challenges you face are not roadblocks, but opportunities to develop the resilience that will guide you through life. This process of growth and self-discovery is where self-discipline comes into play. Discipline is the key to transforming the strength you've gained through adversity into lasting power. It's through consistent effort and self-control that you turn the lessons of hardship into daily habits that fortify your mind and spirit. In Stoicism, discipline isn't just a tool for success. It is the foundation of resilience. Self-discipline is the practice of mastering your impulses and emotions, of training yourself to act in alignment with your values rather than your momentary desires. It is about cultivating a sense of steadiness, the ability to remain calm and clear-headed even when faced with external pressures. When you embrace self-discipline, you take control over your actions no matter what is happening around you. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about making consistent, small improvements over time. Each decision, no matter how small, whether it's sticking to a routine, controlling your temper, or making a hard but necessary choice, builds your inner strength. These small acts of discipline, when repeated day after day, create a solid foundation of resilience that makes you unshakable in the face of difficulty. One of the most powerful effects of self-discipline is that it helps you focus on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to lose sight of your values and goals. Self-discipline enables you to cut through the noise, prioritize what's important, and resist the pull of external temptations. By staying focused on your values and purpose, discipline helps you live with intention, rather than being swayed by every passing desire or distraction. Moreover, self-discipline allows you to manage your emotions. While emotions are natural, Stoicism teaches that they should not control your actions. Discipline enables you to observe your emotions without being controlled by them, giving you the ability to pause, reflect, and choose the most virtuous course of action. This emotional control is a source of inner strength, helping you maintain calm even in turbulent times. Self-discipline also fosters moderation. It teaches you to avoid excess, whether in your desires, habits, or consumption. By practicing moderation, you find balance in your life, making choices that prioritize long-term well-being over short-term gratification. This balance protects you from burnout and emotional exhaustion, helping you to make decisions that serve your overall health and stability. Personal responsibility is another key aspect of self-discipline. Stoicism teaches that you are responsible for your own actions, regardless of external circumstances. Discipline also teaches perseverance. When progress is slow or obstacles seem insurmountable, self-discipline reminds you to keep going. It teaches you that growth takes time and that each small step is part of the larger process. This perseverance strengthens your resilience because it teaches you to view challenges not as reasons to quit, but as opportunities to grow. Over time, self-discipline creates a sense of freedom. While it may seem restrictive at first, discipline ultimately gives you the freedom to act in alignment with your values, free from the distractions and pressures of the world around you. This inner freedom leads to a deeper sense of peace and a greater ability to navigate life with clarity and purpose. As you continue to practice discipline, you'll find that it brings a deeper sense of humility. It reminds you that you are not perfect, that growth is a lifelong journey, and that each failure is an opportunity to learn and improve. This mindset helps you focus on steady, incremental progress rather than the pressure to be perfect. Self-discipline also strengthens relationships. By being disciplined in how you interact with others, you build trust, respect, and meaningful connections. Discipline teaches you to act with integrity, listen with care, and set healthy boundaries, creating relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Self-discipline is not just about restraining yourself or adhering to rigid rules. It is about cultivating a lifestyle of growth, resilience, and intentional living. It's a key element of Stoicism that empowers you to face life's difficulties with strength and wisdom, and ultimately, it helps you live a life of greater purpose, clarity, and peace. Celebrate the small victories as you progress towards your goals. These moments reinforce your commitment and deepen your sense of fulfillment. By practicing self-discipline, you also discover the importance of structure and routine. Stoicism teaches that a disciplined life is one of purpose and order. By establishing routines that nurture your well-being, you create stability and structure that help you navigate life's uncertainties more easily. These habits, whether they involve regular exercise, mindfulness, or reflection, provide a solid foundation that supports both your mental and physical health even during stressful times. Ultimately, self-discipline is about aligning your life with your values and your highest potential. It's not about striving for perfection or rigid control, but about creating habits that foster growth and resilience. Through discipline, you build an inner strength that empowers you to face any challenge with clarity, purpose, and calm. As you continue to practice self-discipline, you fortify your mind and spirit, becoming more focused, more resilient, and more capable of handling life's inevitable difficulties. This quiet, consistent effort is what makes you unbreakable, as it strengthens you one decision at a time. Through discipline, you don't just survive life's challenges, you thrive, growing stronger with each step forward. By cultivating this discipline, you create a life rich with purpose, resilience, and inner peace, no matter the external circumstances. Once you've established self-discipline as a foundation for inner strength, the next step is finding peace through acceptance. Accepting life, its circumstances, and most importantly, fate. Stoicism teaches that true peace comes not from trying to control the world around us, but from accepting what cannot be changed. This form of acceptance isn't about passivity or resignation, it's about actively embracing reality as it is. In doing so, you free yourself from the struggle to control the uncontrollable, finding strength in facing life exactly as it unfolds. A major challenge many people face is the desire to control outcomes. We want things to go a certain way, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal lives. Yet, life often refuses to follow our plans. The Stoics understood that much of our suffering comes not from the external events themselves, but from our resistance to them. When we resist reality, we create unnecessary tension, frustration, and disappointment. The Stoic antidote to this is acceptance, especially the acceptance of fate, or amor fati, which is the love of fate. To embrace fate means recognizing that much of life is beyond our control, from the weather to the actions of others, to the random events that disrupt our plans. Fighting against these realities only adds stress. But by accepting that such events are part of life, you stop wasting energy trying to change the unchangeable. This shift in perspective allows you to focus on what truly matters: your thoughts, actions, and reactions. You find peace, not because life becomes easier, but because you stop battling against the things you can't control. Celebrate the small victories as you progress towards your goals. These moments reinforce your commitment and deepen your sense of fulfillment. By practicing self-discipline, you also discover the importance of structure and routine. Stoicism teaches that a disciplined life is one of purpose and order. By establishing routines that nurture your well-being, you create stability and structure that help you navigate life's uncertainties more easily. These habits, whether they involve regular exercise, mindfulness, or reflection, provide a solid foundation that supports both your mental and physical health, even during stressful times. Ultimately, self-discipline is about aligning your life with your values and your highest potential. It's not about striving for perfection or rigid control, but about creating habits that foster growth and resilience. Through discipline, you build an inner strength that empowers you to face any challenge with clarity, purpose, and calm. As you continue to practice self-discipline, you fortify your mind and spirit, becoming more focused, more resilient, and more capable of handling life's inevitable difficulties. This quiet, consistent effort is what makes you unbreakable, as it strengthens you one decision at a time. Through discipline, you don't just survive life's challenges, you thrive, growing stronger with each step forward. By cultivating this discipline, you create a life rich with purpose, resilience, and inner peace, no matter the external circumstances. Once you've established self-discipline as a foundation for inner strength, the next step is finding peace through acceptance. Accepting life, its circumstances, and most importantly, fate. Stoicism teaches that true peace comes not from trying to control the world around us, but from accepting what cannot be changed. This form of acceptance isn't about passivity or resignation. It's about actively embracing reality as it is. In doing so, you free yourself from the struggle to control the uncontrollable, finding strength in facing life exactly as it unfolds. A major challenge many people face is the desire to control outcomes. We want things to go a certain way, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal lives. Yet, life often refuses to follow our plans. The Stoics understood that much of our suffering comes not from the external events themselves, but from our resistance to them. When we resist reality, we create unnecessary tension, frustration, and disappointment. The Stoic antidote to this is acceptance, especially the acceptance of fate, or amor fati, which is the love of fate. To embrace fate means recognizing that much of life is beyond our control, from the weather to the actions of others to the random events that disrupt our plans. Fighting against these realities only adds stress, but by accepting that such events are part of life, you stop wasting energy trying to change the unchangeable. This shift in perspective allows you to focus on what truly matters: your thoughts, actions, and reactions. You find peace, not because life becomes easier, but because you stop battling against the things you can't control. One of the core Stoic teachings is that everything in life is temporary. Success, failure, happiness, and pain all come and go. When you accept this truth, you stop clinging to specific outcomes and learn to flow with life's inevitable changes. This acceptance doesn't make hardship any less painful, but it makes it more bearable because you understand it's a natural part of the human experience. When you accept life's impermanence, you gain a deep sense of peace as you stop living in the past or fearing the future, and instead embrace the present moment. The acceptance of fate also strengthens your resolve. Stoicism teaches that adversity is not something to fear, but an opportunity to grow. By accepting that challenges are inevitable, you stop viewing them as obstacles to avoid and instead see them as opportunities to build resilience. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means facing life's difficulties with courage, knowing that while you cannot control what happens, you can control how you respond. There is a profound freedom in accepting fate. When you stop trying to control every aspect of life, you let go of the constant stress and anxiety that come with trying to predict or prevent every potential negative outcome. This doesn't mean you stop caring or stop trying. Rather, it means focusing on what's within your control and letting go of the rest. The Stoics mastered the art of finding peace amid chaos by focusing solely on what they could control: their own thoughts, actions, and responses. By practicing acceptance in this way, you cultivate an inner calm that isn't easily disturbed by external events. This acceptance also allows you to release guilt or regret over the past. Stoicism teaches that dwelling on past mistakes or missed opportunities is futile, as the past is beyond your control. When you accept this reality, you free yourself from the emotional burden of what could have been, and instead, learn from your past and move forward with clarity and purpose. This strengthens your resolve, as you stop being distracted by what-if scenarios and stay grounded in the present. Similarly, accepting fate helps you overcome the fear of the future. Much of our anxiety stems from worrying about what might happen or trying to control future outcomes. But the Stoics remind us that the future is as uncontrollable as the past. When you accept this, you free yourself from the mental strain of trying to predict or prevent every possible outcome. You can then focus your energy on what's within your control, your actions in the present moment. This helps you remain anchored in the now and strengthens your resolve, as you no longer get pulled into the uncertainty of the future. One of the most powerful Stoic teachings is that life unfolds according to nature, and every event, no matter how challenging, plays a role in the larger order of the universe. This doesn't mean that hardship isn't painful, but it offers a perspective that brings peace. When you accept that life's events are part of a greater whole, you stop resisting them and instead learn to work with them. This trust in the natural flow of life gives you a deeper understanding of your place in the world, further strengthening your resolve. Another Stoic principle is to focus on the process rather than the outcome. While setting goals is important, the Stoics remind us that the outcome is often beyond our control. What matters most is how we approach the journey, the effort we put in, the values we uphold, and how we conduct ourselves along the way. When you focus on the process rather than fixating on results, you free yourself from the pressure of achieving specific outcomes and find fulfillment in living according to your values. This reduces stress and strengthens your resolve, keeping you grounded in what truly matters: your actions. Acceptance of fate also cultivates resilience by teaching you to embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and despite our best efforts, unforeseen challenges will arise. Stoicism teaches that accepting uncertainty is essential for inner strength. When you stop fighting against the unknown and embrace it, you build resilience. You become more adaptable, flexible, and better equipped to handle life's challenges with grace and calm. This doesn't mean you stop planning, but you do so with the understanding that plans may change, and that's okay. One of the most freeing aspects of Stoic acceptance is that it teaches you to let go of the need for approval or validation from others. Much of our anxiety stems from trying to meet the expectations of others or seeking their approval. But the Stoics remind us that we cannot control how others perceive us. When you accept this, you free yourself from the burden of external expectations and instead focus on living according to your own values. This strengthens your resolve by shifting your focus inward, where your true power lies. Stoicism also teaches us to detach from specific outcomes. Whether it's a promotion, a relationship, or a personal goal, we often become overly attached to achieving certain results. When things don't go as planned, this attachment leads to disappointment and frustration. But true peace comes from detaching from the outcome and focusing on the effort you put into the process. By accepting that the outcome is beyond your control, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of success and failure, and you remain grounded in what truly matters, your actions and integrity. Finally, accepting the limitations of your own power is a key Stoic teaching. No matter how much we want to control, there will always be things beyond our reach. When you accept these limitations, you stop feeling overwhelmed by the weight of trying to control everything. Instead, you focus on what's within your control and let go of the rest. This brings peace and strengthens your resolve, conserving your energy for the things that truly matter. In the end, Stoic acceptance isn't about resignation, but about finding strength in life's challenges. By embracing reality as it is, rather than wishing it were different, you cultivate a peace that is unshakable, even in the face of adversity. You learn to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, knowing that you cannot control everything, but you can always control how you respond. This mindset builds confidence, clarity, and peace, creating a deeper sense of purpose that no external circumstance can take away. As you continue on your Stoic journey, remember that your strength lies not in what happens to you, but in how you respond. By focusing on virtue, detaching from what weakens you, and embracing adversity, you fortify your spirit. Through daily self-discipline and acceptance of fate, you become unbreakable. Not because life gets easier, but because you rise above the challenges it throws your way. If this resonates with you, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments. What challenges are you facing that Stoicism could help you overcome? Let's continue the conversation and grow stronger together. And if you're ready to take your journey even further, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to stay updated on future insights that will help you build a resilient, unbreakable mindset. Stay strong, and remember, nothing can break you.